understanding that being present is a main factor in being able to access many different realms. And it's when we're able to tap into all of these that we are able to expand beyond what is. There's a big wave in, let's say, the spiritual community of people quantum leaping and jumping. And what it does is it creates the space in the now of you being present, being able to not be affected by what could be or what has been. It's allowing the space for what you want to come to you in the now. And this is done by accessing different information, because when you're truly present, you are not focusing on things that are, I want to say, holding you back or stopping you accessing things. Because if you already have conditioned patterns to how things are going to be, how they're going to roll, how they're going to materialize, how can you ever have wonder? Which is another piece of this talk. The wonder allows us to be able to access different things, and this is very important. A lot of people who don't have wonder will feel stuck and feel stagnant. People who have a lot of wonder, may it be, as we coin them, positive or negative, but if they have a dream, this is wondering. Even think of some of the top leaders in the world. They have a dream, they wonder, and while this may not be something that you would want to achieve or the everyday person, it's still that they have something that they are able to wonder about and have something to work towards. Now, to be able to access this, what we need to do is take the time to be present. The solitude is very important, because if we're constantly bombarded by other people's thoughts, other people's opinions, other people's feelings, other people's projections, how are you ever going to be able to siphon what is yours? It's like you're always in protective mode. It's like you're in a battle constantly. It's kind of with yourself, but it's also kind of with others, and this makes it feel very challenging to get anything to come to fruition. Because the issue is that if you're busying yourself with these non-important things, how are you ever going to be able to expand beyond that? Because it's basically like putting on armor, and think about how heavy that is. Like constantly we're having to think of strategies, how to adapt, how to deal with Patricia across the street. But if we release ourselves from these armor and shackles, and this is not an easy feat, especially as people, because the thing is, to be able to learn in this life, we create stories of situations that have happened, which then inform to us how they will go in the future. But we need to let go of this. Unfortunately, it's a survival mechanism, and this is not a message on survival. This is more on how you thrive in this life. The survival piece is how we just inundate ourselves with all this heaviness, and it makes us feel that we can't access anything, and we can't in that moment because our focus is in the wrong place. It may feel like all of these things are important, and they are. We don't want to take away from the importance of being able to understand certain situations and be within them, but we cannot let them control our lives. There's so much more to experience, so much more to unlock and push through, because it's not every day that we try and make ourselves feel like we're accomplishing something. And maybe we are. Maybe we've learned that Patricia is not going to respond to these situations well no matter what we do. And it's good with this learning. But what happens if we shift the focus to us instead of on Patricia? Because it's not Patricia. It's also Barry. It's also Richard, there's also all these people that are making us distracted. And not even to bring in the distraction of the world we live in, the modern world, internet, social media, all these things. And while they have their place, for us, again, it's another distraction and it's another piece of the armor. It's kind of protecting us from what truly is. And because this is terrifying to some people. I know it doesn't sound like it should be terrifying, because why would you not want to experience the world for what it is and just see it through your eyes with no tainting? That's the thing, that's what a lot of these things are. They're just tainting your experience. Why would you want that? But to have the true experience means to be truly present, truly understand you, and truly be in the now. Eckhart Tolle talking about the power of now. This is what it is. But it's also a little bit beyond this, because it's understanding that we can influence what is happening and what has happened. Because it's once we release the stories that we have built up, because that's the problem, these things are stories. Stories can be changed. And here we want to let you know that you can reflect on things that have happened to you. This is fine. But how about you change the story? How about we think about something that happened that maybe was really damaging, but change the ending. We are creators in this life, we are. And the more that you're able to access you being able to know that this is your life, and how you've attached to what has happened, or maybe what will happen in terms of giving you anxiety for things. Does this serve you right now? It may do, but it's also another piece of your protective armor. And this gets heavy over time. So what if we change our relationship to what happened? It doesn't have to be heavy. It's good to understand things and go through things as a part of life, and this is how we grow and learn, but we don't need it to weigh us down. So sit with this and think about a situation that's really weighing you down. It's really holding you back from what could be. Think about why it's holding you back. Maybe write it out in like a journal, a piece of paper, whatever you have. Write it in your phone's app, how you felt on that situation. And you can probably feel how it brings this sense of protection to you. And you think that you behave in certain ways now because it protects you from that happening again. And yes, it does. But also, how about we change it? Change the ending. This is it. Once you've written it all out, write it out again, but from the lens of someone who has learned whatever needed to be understood from that situation, how it has protected you. Maybe these things are helpful too. But then also, for the conclusion, this can be how you can reframe what happened then to the now of how you have processed it and how you feel about it, and how it can be something, I don't want to say positive, because this is not that toxic positivity movement. This is just you being able to take control of what happened, because you are in control. And it's being able to understand how your thoughts and how you process what has happened can influence this heavy armor. So what is the new ending? What is the new ending? And we don't have to make it so anger ridden for the other person. Oh, they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that. Yeah, they probably shouldn't, but can you control that? All you can control is you. So really take this into consideration, and you can also do this with the future. If there's something you're really worried about or scared about, write it down. And try and change your relationship to what could be. And this is the power of now being present, because this is what we have, and this is the time where everything collapses in a way that can benefit us. This is how we use it. And if we're not so distracted by these stories, these other things, and we're able to actually connect to things that are maybe holding us back and not letting us push forward. This is what's most important. And it doesn't have to be every second of every day. It's just being able to build the practice. It's being able to understand what is happening. And you don't need full, what is that term? We don't need the full closure. We can create the closure ourselves. That other person does not need to be involved, even though it feels like it sometimes. But we can write our own stories and we can come up with fun endings if you want, whatever you want that will help us release this armor that's holding us down, because it makes us so much lighter, buoyant. We're able to float around and be free. Free of these stories that do not serve us. They actually do not serve us. You probably feel this too. Maybe there's been a situation where you've let go of a story or a limiting, challenging thing that was holding you back, and you just are like, I feel lighter. And it's with this lightness that we're able to not be so attached to having to control things, because it's more about control. If we're like, oh my gosh, this happened, this in the past, we're trying to control our present and control our future, which gives us a lot of anxiety, because this isn't the true way of being. So let's just work on releasing the armor. We don't need to fight. We don't need to fight. We can just be. And this is so much more freeing than trying to fight this, trying to fight anyone. You have the power within to be able to do this. And don't underestimate it. That's the drop.